High in the Andes Mountains, a great civilization grew. The Incas, they lived way up high, close to the clouds. Their empire spread across the mountains, surrounded by giant peaks covered in snow. They built their homes on the sides of steep mountains and cleverly made flat areas for farming. The Incas were very good at living in their mountain home. They began as just a small group of people. A story says they came from a cave. Their leader was Manco Capac. He carried a special staff made of gold. He looked for the perfect spot to build a city. He found it in the Cusco Valley. That was the start of the Inca Empire. The Incas worshipped the sun. They called their ruler the Sapa Inca, which means son of the sun. He was very powerful. He was in charge of the army, the priests, and he made all the rules. The Incas were very religious. Everything they did was connected to the sun. The Incas spoke a language called Quechua. Everyone in the empire spoke it. They didn't have a way to write words down, but they had a special way to share information. They used quipus. Quipus were ropes with knots tied in them. Each knot meant something. The Incas used quipus to remember their history, keep track of their crops, and even count how many people lived in the empire. At first the Incas were peaceful. They farmed and traded with their neighbors, but then came Pachacuti. He was a strong leader who became the Sapa Inca in the 1400s. He was a great warrior and very smart. He dreamed of a huge empire. Pachacuti made the Inca territory much bigger. He conquered other tribes and made them part of his empire. He built a powerful army and expected everyone to be loyal to him. In return, he kept them safe. The Inca Empire grew very quickly. It went from what we now call Colombia all the way down to Chile. Pachacuti was also a great builder. He ordered the construction of Machu Picchu, a royal home high in the mountains. It's amazing how it was built. The Incas didn't have any modern tools, but they knew how to cut stone and fit the pieces together perfectly. Machu Picchu shows us just how skilled they were. The Incas were amazing farmers. They farmed on the sides of steep mountains by building terraces to make flat areas. They used canals to water their crops. They grew potatoes, corn and quinoa, which were the main foods they ate. They even raised llamas and alpacas for their wool and to help carry things. Inca society was very organized. At the top was the Sapa Inca, who was seen as a god. Below him were the nobles who had important jobs in the government and religion. Most people were commoners. They were farmers, craftspeople and soldiers. The Incas believed in working hard and following the rules. Everyone had to work on public projects like building roads, temples and forts. This system was called mita, and it helped the Incas build their huge empire. The Inca roads were famous. They went on for thousands of miles, connecting all parts of the empire. These roads were made of stone and went over mountains and through deserts. Special runners called chasqui carried messages along these roads. They ran in relays so they could send messages very quickly across long distances. The Inca Empire was an amazing place. Their cities were beautiful, their temples shined with gold, and their roads connected a huge and diverse land. The Incas were strict rulers, but they also brought peace and made their empire wealthy. When the Spanish arrived, it was the beginning of the end for the Incas. Francisco Pizarro came in 1532 with his conquistadors. They wanted gold and silver, and they saw the Inca Empire as an easy target. The Spanish had guns and horses, things the Incas had never seen before. They were scared. The Spanish captured Atahualpa, the Sapa Inca, and demanded a roomful of gold to let him go. The Incas paid the ransom, but the Spanish killed Atahualpa anyway. The Inca Empire fell apart. The Spanish melted down their gold treasures and destroyed their temples. They forced the Incas to follow their religion and culture. The Inca way of life was broken, but the Incas didn't give up. They went into the mountains and fought the Spanish for many years, but in the end they were defeated. Their empire was gone. But the Incas are not forgotten. Their descendants still speak Quechua and follow some of their old traditions. The ruins of their cities are still here. Machu Picchu is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a reminder of a lost civilization. The Incas might be gone, but their story is still amazing. They show us how clever people can be, and they teach us that even the biggest and strongest empires can fall.